All right. Hey everybody, we're going to go ahead and go over a new topic for this week, and it's adding and subtracting radicals. So while we're doing this, I want you guys to remember back to combining like terms. Like for instance, if I have 3x plus 5x, that would give me 8x. If I have 3y plus 2x, this is just equal to that, right? That can't be combined because those don't match. So x and y don't match. So we'd have to leave that just like this. So when we're doing adding and subtracting radicals, we want to kind of look at this. We want to make the radicals match in this case, all right? So if you guys get a problem like this, 7 radical 5 minus radical 11 plus 4 radical 5. Well, what do you notice? I hope the first thing you notice is that 7 radical 5 and 4 radical 5 both have a radical of 5, which means that those are, think of them as like terms. We can put those two together. So if I have 7 of them here and 4 of them here, I have 11 radical 5s. And then you just bring down the minus radical 11, because this doesn't have a match. These two match up like terms. So this would be your simplified answer if you're adding and subtracting radicals. All right? Okay, I'll show you guys another type, and then when I'm done here, I'm going to put 3 problems up. I encourage you to pause the video and try them, and then I'll go over the answers for those 3 problems as well. Okay, so in this case, we're given 2 things from the beginning where the radicals don't match at all. So before you just say that this is your final answer, like we would if we got a problem like this, let's see if we can fix this radical or simplify this radical to make it match the 2. So we're going to bring down 2 radical 2 minus. Now I think about breaking this part up into square root of 9 times the square root of 2. Because 9 times 2 is 18. I remember that 9 is a perfect square. And there's that radical 2 that I want to match. So if I do this, 3 times square root of 2 just gives me 3 radical 2. So I can take this and make that 3 radical 2. At this point, the radicals match again. So 2 minus 3 is negative radical 2. Or you can also enter your answers as negative 1 radical 2. All right, so that would be how you would simplify this problem. Okay, and the third type is where you might have something that you take out of the radical sign and there's a number you have to multiply it by. So in this case, we have 3 radical 11 plus 2 radical 44. Again, here, nothing we can do, so we're going to rewrite 3 radical 11 plus. All right, here, can we make this match this? So if we take this and we break it into 2 times radical 4 times radical 11, because 4 times 11 is 44, and we can take a 2 out of this because we know the square root of 4. So we would have 2 times 2 times radical 11, and 2 times 2 is 4 radical 11. So we've taken this, we've simplified it to that, and now we can put that part back in our problem. So if you have 3 radical 11s and 4 radical 11s, overall we have 7 radical 11s. And that would be your simplified answer. All right, I'm going to write 3 problems up here. Like I said, when I do, I encourage you guys to go ahead and pause the video and try them, and then see what you get. All right, the first one is radical 3 plus radical 5 plus 2 radical 3. The next one, 3 radical 5 minus radical 20. And the last one, 2 radical 6 plus 3 radical 96. Like I said, I would encourage you to pause the video and try those, and then I'm going to go through the answers here in a second for you. Okay, so in the first one, we notice we have radical 3, a radical 5, and a 2 radical 3. So if it were like x plus y plus 2x, we would combine these two. So I have 1 radical 3 here, I have 2 radical 3's here. Take this, and it's going to give us 3 radical 3's. So those are gone, plus radical 5. So that would be your answer to the first example. Next one, radical 5 and radical 20. They don't match, so as of right now, we couldn't do anything. But we can maybe break this apart. So if we break this apart into radical of 4 times radical 5, right? Now, the radical 4 is 2, or square root of 4 is 2 radical 5. So we can take this and make this 2 radical 5 and bring down our 3 radical 5. If you have 3 radical 5s and you take away 2, you end up with radical 5. And in this case, you don't have to put the 1 in front. If it were negative, you could do negative 1, but if you get something like this, just leave it as radical 5. Okay, and the last one was 2 radical 6. 6 is even, but it's not a perfect square, so we're stuck with 2 radical 6. All right, now you got to look at this one. Square root of 96. Well, that's not a perfect square, but we can start breaking that up. As you guys start going through the factors of 96, hopefully you realize you can do 3 times 16 times radical 6. What I would do if you guys get a case like this and you're trying to make it match a radical is I would divide whatever number's in here by whatever this radical is and see if you can make it work. So in this case, if we take 96 divided by 6, it gives us 16. And that works out for us because that's a perfect square anyway. So now we have 3 times 4 times square root of 16, or radical 16. 3 times 4 is 12, so we'd have 12 square root of 6 here. 12 square root of 6 plus 2 square root of 6 is 14 square root of 6. Okay, keep working hard on these guys. There will be an Edge Elastic assignment. If you have questions, please email me. Remember, the practice is for you to practice. The Edge Elastic assignments are for your grade. So keep working hard, and I hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully I get to see you soon.